Okay, the next biblical source is taken from Sefer BeMidbar, Perek Yud Gimel and Yud Daled, specifically focusing on Perek Yud Daled. Okay, so this is Numbers 13 and 14. The parsha is Shlach Lecha, send for you. This is the story of the scouts or the spies. The story is that when the Israelites came out of Egypt, they crossed the sea, they got the Torah, and they were actually about to go into the land of Israel, but they had requested from Moshe, and Moshe had granted them the request that they would send these scouts, spies, reconnaissance troops ahead to the land of Israel in order to see about it. And this is a famous story, so if you don't know it, you should watch this a couple of times because this is a pretty famous story. There are 12 spies that are sent, one for each tribe. Two of them come back saying, this land is awesome, it's got everything we need, and God's going to take care of us. 10 of them said, this land is awesome, but the people there are like huge, and we're never going to be able to defeat these people. And as a result of this message that they delivered to Moshe, but in front of everybody, all of the Israelites are like, oh man, what are we going to do? We're never going to be able to make it into the land. Like, it's a great land, but what's the point? What did we come out of Egypt for? We're just going to die in battle trying to take over this land. And they kind of lose, not kind of, but they literally lose their faith in God, and God gets really, really upset at them. Okay, and so the specific verse from BeMidbar 14:27 just is the Vaydaber Shem Moshe v'Aaron limor. That was the previous verse. So God speaks to Moshe and Aaron, says, Ad matai leida haraha zot? How long will I tolerate? How much longer shall the wicked community keep muttering against me? Asher hama milim alai et tlunot b'nei Yisrael. Asher hema milinim alai shamati. Right? Basically saying, how long do I have to listen to these people whine and complain about me? They keep talking about me negatively. How long do I need to deal with it? And what ends up happening at the end of this chapter is God's like, enough. I'm going to just destroy these people. And Moshe intervenes and kind of negotiates for them. But ultimately, these people, as a result of listening to these scouts, to these spies, and doubting whether or not God could bring them into the land of Israel, God says, you know what? Nobody that's alive right now is going to end up in the land of Israel, and over the next 40 years, they all die out. So title, The Story of the Spies. The details, when Moshe sends the 12 scouts or spies to see the land of Israel, 10 of them come back and say, we can't do it. And as a result of that, the whole generation is excluded from coming into the land of Israel, except for a couple of good guys. And the specific verse over there is God saying, how long do I need to deal with this community? That's a little bit of a focus. How long do I need to deal with this community of complainers? I don't want to have to deal with this kind of community anymore.